Hi everyone, my name's Mairi Beaton. I come from Scotland, from the west coast of Scotland, originally from a tiny little island with only about 100 people, so very isolated and small. But I went to university in Glasgow. Glasgow, a very big city, about the same size as Lyon, quite dynamic and with a lot going on. I moved here to Lyon more than 25 years ago. I went to university in Glasgow where I studied both English, of course, but also psychology. And I did a diploma in teaching. I spent a lot of time teaching people who couldn't read and write. That was what I did first. And then I taught migrants, refugees we used to call them. I've got quite a lot of hobbies. One of my main ones is photography, which I only took up quite recently. And I spend a ridiculous amount of time in the Parc de la Tête d'Or taking wildlife pictures. I like swimming. I love reading. I spend far too much time reading as well. I don't often do things like go to the cinema, but I enjoy that when I do it, and I spend a lot of time sitting around in cafes with my friends. In the summer it's one of the nicest things I think to do in Lyon, especially during the day in nice weather, sitting out, enjoying the Lyon sunshine. One of the big Scottish traditions are the big fire festivals, which would be Halloween, Yule. The ones we still celebrate those are the two big ones. Midsummer, of course, is important as well, and the Spring Festival we enjoy too. But Halloween is probably the biggest one. It's the end of the Celtic year. It's full of real superstition. We believed that at Halloween you can contact the spirits. We thought that the old god of the dead, well, the god of life and death, walked in the fields, bringing death to the fields. And he comes back again early in spring and brings fertility. So it's the same god. Celtic gods apparently were very complicated and they normally had two faces. Kilts, men wear kilts in Scotland. It's a special dress, it's for special occasions. So we would wear a kilt perhaps for a wedding or for a graduation ceremony. It's usually for important events and not something that you wear every day. And they're extremely expensive. Families usually pass kilts. They cost about £1,000, about 1,200 euros. Scotland's very much worth visiting for its history, but for me the monuments, although they're often very lovely, are not nearly as important as the landscape, which is what makes Scotland really magical. If you do want to go and see monuments, if you're in Edinburgh for example, don't go to Edinburgh Castle. It's really boring inside, but at the other end of the street you have the Edinburgh Castle at one end, and at the other end of the big street you have Holyrood Palace, and it's absolutely beautiful inside, but you do need to pay to go in, which is a bit annoying. A really funny thing happened quite recently. I was teaching English to a group that I don't normally teach, and I asked, we were preparing for the Cambridge exams, and I gave a list of questions on the board, and that are like the questions that you would expect in part 4 of the Cambridge exams. And one of them was, what's the most important thing in life in your opinion? And I heard one of the boys saying, a penis. And I thought, what? And I decided not to say anything, to behave as if I had heard nothing. And then I went to another group and I was listening to them, and another boy said, a penis. And I thought, oh no, that's too much. And then I heard the same thing a third time, and I suddenly realized that in fact they were trying to say happiness. Okay. I was a bit shocked until I understood that it was just their pronunciation. Oh, red wine. Although white wine's okay sometimes, you know, if you're having fish. I think red wine, I like the sort of full-bodied flavour that you get and the complexity. Curlila. It's an Islay whiskey. It's a single malt, of course, and a nice old one. Otherwise, maybe a Jura. I also like Jura 25 years old. That's whiskey made in the part of the world I come from, so of course I'm going to prefer those ones. Oh, pizza. Yeah. I never trust fish to be completely fresh. Oh, sweet. I like savoury, salty things as well, but it's definitely sweet. Oh, that is hard. The Beatles, I think, because you can sing along with the Beatles more easily. Oh, I don't know. That one I really don't have any idea. Sorry about that. I really don't have a preference. I don't know. Oh, Targaryen. Ooh, Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's a better actor. Oh, well cooked. I like the crispiness. It's one of the best things about French bread.